views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Straight ahead on this edition of Perspectives, the doctor is in the house. We'll be talking with Dr. Bob Lee from WBLS and also our very own BronxNet Open host. He'll be talking about his work with the Make the Grade Foundation and their annual awards. We'll talk about that and more on this edition of Perspectives with yours truly, Daren Jaime.
What's on your mind? Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference in someone's life. Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective? Let them know.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Daren Jaime. And of course, we thank you for joining us. And as always, every week, you can watch us here on Perspectives on BronxNet Channel 67, where we do what? Share our perspective, and so do you. You get a chance to share your perspective. Well, just how do you do that? Well, you can do that on our social media platforms at BronxNet TV. If you're trying to reach me personally, of course, you can catch me on my personal page. Facebook is Daren C. Jaime. And then on Twitter and Instagram at DCJaime23. And as always, you're welcome to visit our website at bronxnet.org to find out more about Perspectives and all the other shows that we have here on BronxNet Television. Well, today we're pleased to be joined by a very special guest. He's a friend and brother. We've known him down through the years. You've known him as well down through the years. On WBLS, he is the community man. He is out in and about the streets, letting us know what's going on, bringing us some very special people and all the happenings in our community. But also, more importantly, he's here with us on BronxNet Television as the host of Monday Open, and pleased to have him. But he's talking today about, yes, his very special foundation, talk about the Make the Grade Awards and the annual awards that take place. And we're pleased to be joined by none other than the doctor himself, Dr. Bob Lee in the building. And Dr. Lee, what's up, Bob?
How are you, man? Nice to see you.
I'm glad to see you, man. I know you've been busy. I mean, you've got BLS that you're doing. You've got Monday, Tuesday Open that you're hosting here on BronxNet with us. And, things have been real busy, but at the same time, real challenging. So talk to me about how it's been for you throughout COVID.
Well, we've been doing a lot of things throughout COVID. I thought we were just going to be locked into the studio, but no, we've been on the ground. We always say, hey, we're rocking the airways or got the boots on the ground. That's what we do in the community. So we were handing out the, PPE equipment and stuff like that, face masks, hand sanitizers. I would get on the microphone. I have a microphone in the vehicle. Hey, if you need a face mask, I got it over here. I would go to different places and just give those things out. So it kept us pretty busy. And then a lot of other people were having things, the community-based organizations and nonprofits. So we would show up to a lot of those places who were doing great things in our community. And we thank them. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of time in the community and being of the community. We've known you down through the years for being that community man. But then yet and still also you've got your very own foundation that's really dealing with community too, and to Make the Grade. So for our viewers who may not be so familiar, tell us a little bit about the foundation and the work that you do.
Well, it stemmed from the WBLS On Time program that they used to send us around to different schools throughout the tri-state area, trying to get people to stay in school and be on time. And we were pretty successful with that. But in doing so, we found that, there were some things that were needed. And I started thinking about starting this foundation. And I didn't have a name for it. I was going to call it the Bob Lee Foundation. A lot of people name foundations after themselves. But then I said, you know what? I was in the shower and these names started coming to me, and something going up the hill, something uplifting, something that's making the grade, something that's taking somebody to the next level. So I came scuffling out of the shower, and I had my paper and pen, and I still had that wet piece of paper smudged up. And I said, make the grade, Make the Grade Foundation. So we've been doing that since the end of 2004. And we have vehicles. We have Narcan in our vehicles. Somebody has an ODs. We have the emergency lights, and we can take care of gunshot wounds and people who maybe had a heart attack, and CPR and all of those things. So we work with the Volunteer Ambulance Corps, the Bedford-Stuyvesant Volunteer Ambulance Corps, and Save a Life Mission. So they do some great things under Rocky Robinson. He just passed away, but he was a fire captain from the FDNY. But his sons and his family are still running it at Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. And we do that. And we have our books that we've written under the Make the Grade Foundation. We still make a lot of appearances in the schools. I've been to just about every school in the tri-state area at least once. I know there's some new schools popping up, but we look to be a part of that too. We adopted a number of schools where we go in and help them out with maybe scholarships and different things, and build internet radio stations at these schools and churches. So we're doing that. That's just some of the things that we do with the Make the Grade Foundation, but a lot of it is on makethegrade.org, which is still being built, and we're still adding things to that. So it's a lot of work, but you got to love it. You got to be passionate about it. Anything that you do in life, you got to be passionate about it. Right. So that's what we do. I love to sit up in the studio and talk to you on the radio, but I'm more passionate about being out in the community.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what it is. It's about really reaching and impacting lives, and really it's through your foundation and the scholarships and the impact that you're being able to make. Talk to me about that, because I know that that's part of your heart, right? You want to be able to kind of like bridge the gap, because when we look at our education system, and particularly our public school system, a lot of challenges across the city, but in your own kind of way, you're making a difference.
Yeah. And it's a partnership. No one organization or one person can do it alone. It takes a collective amount of people getting together, moving together in the same direction for a common cause. And that's why within the Make the Grade Foundation, within that mission statement, we deal with the parent, teacher, student, community, clergy, financial literacy, and we deal with health. And those are some of the things that help that student become successful. It takes a village to raise a family, and that moves into that category right there.
Yeah. And so for you, I mean, what's the greatest joy out of this? I mean, you have your awards, and I know your awards is coming up soon. So tell us first about the awards.
Well, that's going to be December the 12th, and we usually do it at Terrace on the Park, but it's going to be virtual again for the second time since we started it. So we put all of this together. We're going to honor a great number of people, some great people in our community. And BronxNet is a major part of it. We've been working together hand in hand, toe to toe, elbow to elbow for many years now. And we're going to produce it and put it on. We're going to play it back December the 12th, about 6 o'clock. December 12th at 6 o'clock. And that's going to play on BronxNet and other platforms too. So, I mean, it's a wonderful thing it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. But it's a good feeling knowing in your heart that you help somebody else, move in the right direction.
Yeah. Let me take a quick break, come back and talk more with Dr. Bob Lee. Going to talk a little bit about radio. How's it changed since COVID has gone on? He's still behind the microphone. We'll talk about that. His career, the Make the Grade Foundation, that and more here on Perspectives with yours truly, Daren Jaime. we're back here on Perspectives. Daren Jaime here with you. Our guest, none other than Dr. Bob Lee. He's the host of Open on Monday, and you can also see him on Tuesday. And then, of course, WBLS. We always know 107.5. You've heard the doctor and his voice. And Doc, I want to get your perspective, man. Now, how long you been doing BLS?
For some time now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
that's the good politically correct answer. Yeah, when people ask me about Bronx, I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for a minute now. That's my answer. I've been doing it for a minute. We don't give years out.
Right. But no, I started with I didn't start with Frankie Crocker, but I was Frankie Crocker's intern, and I did a lot of things for Hal Jackson and Vaughn Harper. I DJ'd. I had a mobile unit in my van that I should carry around. So I did a lot of the DJ work for Frankie Crocker, for Hal Jackson, and Vaughn Harper. We did the WBLS short shots. I used to provide the music for that, and we just went all over. And I started as an intern in 1980.
Wow. Well, I'm looking behind you, and I see a whole lot of albums.
We used to use those records back there, yeah.
Yes, that lesson from whence you come.
Well, it goes all the way back. No, it goes all the way back down that way. And this is my third record library.
Wow. So talk to me about how you've been able to stay relevant, given the fact that, we've gone from albums to, cassettes to CDs to streaming. I mean, and through it all, you've managed to really remain relevant. What's been the key for you in staying relevant in this industry that is ever so changing?
Yeah, just stay out of the politics of the different organizations, but just go in and do what you need to do to help others get what they need out of life, and stay in those schools, because in those schools, of course, education is big, and you'll learn the new lingo and all of that the students are using. And so I use something called the identification technique. I'll find out what they're talking about, what they're into, and that's what I use when I'm talking and speaking to students, or talking on stage, or speaking in the classroom. And just stay, trying to stay relevant and get into some of the things that the community is on. And you may not be up on everything, because you always, the magic about it is that you're always finding something new. You're always meeting new people, and that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you relevant.
Yeah. And for you, I mean, talk about relevant. We're now in the internet age, and the internet is it. I mean, right now we're having a couple of Wi-Fi issues, and Wi-Fi is the way to go. But talk to me, because you also have a way of helping people with internet stations, and you're going into places and hooking that up a little. You spoke a little bit about that, but give us more.
Yeah, well, we were using some of the engineers from WBLS. They would volunteer their services. Molly used to come around with us. We built something at Frederick Douglass Academy. In fact, we built that station was so well built that it was sounding better than a lot of other stations that are on there now. So, and the kids got a chance to learn, about radio, how to present themselves, and how to go out and get information and present it back on radio. And, it was great. We had some great sponsors behind that, and programs like that help to create the awareness that, no matter where you go, it may not be radio, but you still have to communicate. You still have to be able to present yourself in a certain way, no matter what business you get involved in. You may want to be an entrepreneur and do your own business. You still have to reach out and get that message across. So it's important. And Hal Jackson used to point to this microphone, and I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. He used to, you know what this is about? I said, what's he trying to tell me? He said, do you know what this is about? And he never told me. He let me figure it out on my own. So being in the business for a while, when somebody points to a microphone and asks you, do you know what this is about? This is the power to persuade, to influence, to guide somebody in the right direction, to get everybody on the same page. Now, not everybody's going to be on the same page, but you can have a major influence and just say, hey, this is the look right here. I will never guide you wrong. I'm in the community with you every step of the way, and I won't take you somewhere where you're not supposed to go. If I feel something happening, I'm going to let you know. I'm not trying to be radical or anything like that, but I just want to let you know about what's happening in our community. I want to create the awareness, and that's what we use this microphone for. And of course, you get the entertainment, the good music, and everything that comes along with it. Yeah.
But it's also having a voice, right? And I think it's important. And share with me what it's been like for you. We were doing TV, open, all throughout the pandemic, and then people were relying on information, not just in television, but in radio. And all of a sudden, we go from not just being these broadcast journalists, but really essential workers, and essential from the place of, even when it comes to music, providing an outlet for people in the midst of all of this chaos that's been going on with COVID and in this pandemic.
Yeah. And people want to know. They want to know what's going on. I mean, in this area over here, you heard almost 24 hours a day, ambulances going by during the pandemic. And at 7 o'clock, you heard people, hitting their little bells and pots and pans and all that stuff, congratulating and praising frontline workers. And, all of that stuff was going on, and people are going to be traumatized. This is a thing that's going to be with people for a long time,
right,
whether you call it COVID or not. And so those things were going on, and they were looking for radio and TV to provide that information, tell us what's going on, because we can't go out. They tell us not to go out. Things are shut down. So where do we go? Well, what's going on? What's happening? So we always tell people, no matter what's happening, this is before the shots, the inoculations, continue, use those 3 W's: wear, watch, and wash. Wear that mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. And to this day, we need to continue doing that. I never stop telling people that on radio and on BronxNet. Continue to do those things right there, because we have an airborne situation. During 9/11, one of my broadcasts, I was telling people, I think I ended with one of those lines that said, we're going to be cognizant, or we're going to be paying close attention to the direction of the wind. And I said that because when I was working down there, the wind was going out to Staten Island. It was blowing all that smoke that way. But there was a couple of times where it blew it back through the city. So in wrapping up that broadcast, that's one of the reasons why I said that. And it still stands for today. If you're standing downwind from somebody and somebody's coughing and sneezing, you don't want to be in that area. You get out of it.
Right.
You wear that mask, because we have an airborne situation that we need to get. It's a pandemic, and we need to get out of it. So we need to be not mindful. Only take care. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said we need to be mindful.
Yeah. Not only watch yourself, but in watching yourself, you're taking care of your family and you're taking care of your community. And I think people have to be more responsible, and they are. A lot of people are, but there's some that are not.
Yeah. Want to come back after the break, tell you more. Dr. Bob Lee with us. We're going to be talking about Make the Grade. How can you support? How can you get involved? Well, Doctor will let us know when we return in a few. are back here on Perspectives with the Dr. Bob Lee from BronxNet Open, and also, yes, 107.5 WBLS.
Oh, we got to give you a show over there now. We heard that.
Yeah. Listen, man, we got to do the plugs, right? We got to make the plugs. Yeah. But let me plug this, because we started off talking about your Make It Great Foundation, and the award ceremonies get ready to come up. But there might be somebody out there that says, listen, how can I be a part? How can I support what you're doing? So your answer to them would be what?
Well, then go to makethegradefoundation.org. makethegradefoundation.org, and you go in there and you can make a donation. You can write comments. You can scan through it and find out what's going on. Like some of the things that we've been doing. They're still adding stuff to it, but the website gives you a pretty good, should I say it, perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on? It's not full, because I'm looking for somebody that can show what the personality is doing, and show what the Make the Grade Foundation is doing, and put both of those things out there on the same page. But I tell you, Daren, some of the people, we've got some great honorees, like we had great honorees over the years. Mayor-elect Eric Adams, he's a nominee. Right. Schools Chancellor Misha Porter, Dr. Sampson Davis, we had him on Open. Of course, they have the Three Doctors Foundation. Vi Higginson, she's the first lady of WBLS. Mm-hmm. WBLS started uptown in Harlem, and she has the Mama Foundation. She's doing some great things with kids. And Shayla Scott, radio personality, #1 show, just like Deja Vu on WBLS, #1. And Michelle Chumpong, she's vice president of Local 371, and they do a lot of great things in our community too. And then Elliot Priester, he has CeeLo's over there in the Bronx. If you know where White Castle is off the Bruckner Expressway,
oh yeah,
it's a place called CeeLo's Restaurant. And man, he's by the right next to the projects over there. What's the name of the projects? Anyway, he takes care of business over there, and he donates a lot of food to the community. And that, that's what I like about him. He doesn't only receive money. He understands this circle of love that's going on. You get by giving. It's one of the paradoxes of life. You get by giving, and you give, you get, and he does that. He feeds the homeless and everything. So we wanted to honor him too.
Yeah. What can you tell me about being with boots on the ground in the community? What's your take on how the community has really responded during a time like this? I mean, New Yorkers are known as being a resilient people, but when you talk about New York City, some of the most resilient people that you could ever have, and at the same time, some of the most giving as well.
Yeah, they are. New York City's great, and they rolled up their sleeves to help die the fire out, so to speak, of this pandemic. We're able to do the things that we're able to do because people paid attention to what's going on in the city. Not everybody's on the same page, but mostly everybody's on the same page. They went out and they wear their masks, they got vaccinated, and they show their card when they go into restaurants, and they're doing the right thing. And I think we all have to, I always talk about it, moving together in the same direction for a common cause. Some people would say, oh, that, and I was like, I didn't want to take the vaccination either. I didn't want to take the shot because I don't like anything going into my body that I don't, really fully understand. But for the good of the hood, I just threw that in. For the good of the community, I think it's important. We can't be selfish about it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I'm not pushing anybody to go take a shot. You do your own thing. But I think to help other people get what they need out of life, I think it's important for everybody to be on the same page. Almost impossible to do because we have the system of duality, the yes and the no, the him and the her, the this and the that, the good and the bad. So it's almost impossible to get everybody the same. But as long as you get that, most of the people moving together, I think we'll be okay.
Well, the holidays are right around the corner. Tell me, do you have anything planned special as far as broadcasting is concerned?
During the Steve Harvey turkey giveaway, we did a broadcast. We did a simulcast kind of thing where we had a pastor from New Jersey, and we had a pastor from Jamaica, Queens, and we had them hooked up on the same line, and we did that broadcast over, thanking everybody, thanking Steve Harvey and the WBLS crew for the turkey giveaway. I think we're going to do some of the same stuff with the toy drives. There's a lot of that stuff going on right now. So people are gathering their toys. There's going to be a lot of them all over the city. So we'll probably be broadcasting back and probably doing some Christmas tree lightings and things like that. And then, of course, New Year's comes, and we usually do a real big party at the Rochdale Village, but I think they're going to bump it down this year. So, I'm still on the ones and twos, still on the turntables, doing my thing. I don't use these records here because all of these records in a computer now.
Right.
So, yeah. So we bring out a whole team of DJs and we take care of it. We set up a huge sound system with a big screen TV. We watch the ball drop and all that stuff. And, you could probably Google some of that and see some of that go down. But we have a lot of fun with that. And then we move into the new year and we try to kick off our shoes and relax your feet after that big party. So, yeah. And then look forward to what's coming up.
A lot going on, but listen, I want to thank you for being with us here. And again, special shout out to you for the work that you do and uplifting the community, more particularly the Make the Grade Foundation and the upcoming awards ceremony. You got some very, very special honorees. And I want to let you know I'm honored to have you here with us on the show. Dr. Bob Lee. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Daren. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
All righty. Well, as the doctor said, the best thing to do is, guess what? Give. And during this holiday season, there's so many people that are without. And it's not about how much you get, but really in this season, it's about what we're willing to give. And so if you can give your time, if you can give a smile, if you can give an encouraging word, those things go a long way. And so, listen, that's my perspective. I'm Daren Jaime saying take care, God bless, and hopefully we'll see you on Perspective. Share your perspective with somebody else. It just might make a difference in someone else's life.
Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, just speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective, which shines a light. Cause it might